Welcome back on the channel. Butcher the Sicilian. This time I was white. Serbian Rapid Championship. I played against pretty good FM, I gotta be honest, and to say that so far I played against that guy, I believe 6 times. I never managed to beat him. Most of these games were drawn, and the day before that we played a blitz game. He offered me a draw, I rejected, and I lost. Then I was, like very furious, and the very next day I said, okay, I was white, that's it, let's go. And let me show what happened. Yes, position on the board. It was once again Butcher the Sicilian, and one of my pet variations from the course, Morozevic's line, Bishop A4. But more about it, let's begin from the scratch. I went with E4, Brankovic went for C5, Knight C3, Knight C6. Everybody plays Knight C6 against me when I play Knight C3. Bishop B5, of course. Knight D4. All good players go with Knight D4 because he just wants to avoid Bishop takes C6. I played Knight F3 and G6. For some reason, every single guy in Serbia goes for G6. Don't ask me why. I don't know. But I believe somehow from the past they just learned that a move like G6 should be played. It's the most common. Also, most of these guys in Serbia are familiar with accelerated dragon and dragon positions, and that's why they go for G6. Anyways, I went for my favorite line, Bishop A4. I actually learned about this line from Morozovic, one of the most creative guys, I believe, in the last couple of decades. And you know what? When I saw Bishop A4 for the first time, I was kind of laughing, and I simply didn't understand the point. Nowadays, I'm winning all my games with it. I lost one game to Nikita Petrov in European Rapid Championship because I just misplayed something in a better game. Anyways, after Bishop A4, the guy played Bishop G7, I played Castle, and I always say when you play Bishop A4, you just want to go for... Actually, Black only has one move in this position, and that move is A6. And that's also a very big relief for you when you play a game and when you see that your opponent goes for A6. A kind of curiosity is what happened to me in one Blitz tournament in Serbia. I believe it was a year ago. 3 games, same day, in the same tournament, I won with A6. I captured, C takes D4, Knight B5. Now you see for the first time, point behind the bishop on A4. First of all, it moved away. I'm having Knight D6 threats. And on top of all that, you can't play D6 because I would come up with this discovery and win the game on the spot. That's the first thing. Second thing is after Knight B5, that day, 2 games I played against Queen B6, C3, and an FM, played D3. I played Queen F3. This pawn is falling, and when they play like this, he just went for Queen D6 to defend. I played Knight C4, Queen C7. I captured, and when they played this B5, hoping to do something, I came up with this, took on C8, and with the bishop pair, with a clearly pawn up and terribly bad king, I won the game afterwards very easily. You just have to play A4. Same day in the same tournament after C3, one guy captured D takes C3, I captured D takes C3. He went for A6, I played Bishop A3, and this is plus Sicilian. You're just completely winning, and I won the game very easily. And same day, against 2000 pretty young player, he went for A6, I captured Knight E4, Bishop D4, C takes, Queen takes. I played D3, played Queen C2, Bishop E3, and with the bishop pair and with full control of the dark squares, I was almost completely winning and easily won my game. In this game, my opponent, instead of going for E6, which is obviously the worst move, he can't go with D6 because of famous bishop. He can't go with Knight F6 because of nice push E5. He can't go with Knight H6 because you should just take on D4, play Knight E2, and afterwards go with D3, and they have problems with both pawn on D4 and Knight on H6. So my opponent went for should go with A6. And he did not do that. He took on f3. I played queen takes f3, and he played a6 to go with b5 to trap my bishop here. Here I just have to tell you that I felt like very happy that I finally had this position on the board, because this was the moment to apply my novelty and my idea for the first time. I remember when I made a course, I said, oof, I would like to go with something like this if someone ever goes and happens something like this in my games. And that's what I did. I played e5, an amazing move. I'm not allowing b5. My opponent looked straight into my eyes and took on e5. I played rook e1. And now he played bishop d4, which is the best move. On bishop g7, guess what would I do? I would go with another pawn sack d4, and when he takes, knight jumps here, I'm threatening bishop f4, I'm having ideas like this bishop is doing a great job, and I would be completely winning. He played bishop g7, I jump with the knight on d5. I want to play c3 and kick the bishop away. He played king f8, I played c3, of course, that's how you have to claim the compensation, and I played d4. And you know what? I'm down a pawn, but all my pieces are just well developed. His king is weak. He only has, let's say, one developed piece. You definitely should go with this type of chess and this type of games in your games, because you should be happy and you should say, Maya told us to play in compensation, we should be happy with this. After this, he played e6. I went for bishop f4, threatening bishop d6. So if he captures, I would go with bishop d6 and go home, buddy. See you next time. He went for d6, queen g3, threatening on d6. And when he played in this situation e5, I captured. He played b5, and I made a very nice and lovely e takes d6 move. What's so special about e takes d6? I am now threatening d7. So if he captures, I would go with this, threatening the bishop, and go with bishop d6 and win the game. He didn't do that. Played bishop d7. I said, okay. I put my bishop back to b3. He played c4. I brought it back here. He played h6. I developed my rook and centralized. He played knight f6. And I said, okay, I'll go here, going after the pawn on g6. I wasn't afraid of knight h5. That's what he did. Now I'm threatening on g6 because king is here. He played bishop f6, and I came up with this sack. After he captured, knight g6, king g7, I took the knight. I was already 3 pawns up. His king was weak. On this one, I prepared a beautiful rook sack, rook e7, this one, and bishop e7, in which case the queen is hanging. This rook is defended by the queen, and on top of all that, I'm having bishop e5. He didn't do that. Played rook h7. I played knight to e7, and after he played queen f8, I played knight e5, and he resigned because he couldn't move and save this bishop and also the king on the same diagonal. Hope that you enjoyed in the game, and wish you many games like this in Butcher the Sicilian. This was from Serbian Rapid Championship, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds. I was white. All the best, and see you soon.